to a Vlogtober video. I've never done Vlogtober before. I've done Vlogmas. Vlogmas is quite a regular occurrence on my channel every December, but I've never done Vlogtober. However, I was very aware that there hasn't been a podcast on the channel for quite a long time, and there is unlikely to be a podcast on the channel throughout the entirety of October. October is extremely busy. I'm already feeling the pressure, and it's the 1st of October today. October is extremely busy. We've got 2 weeks of, so the kids are at school for 1 more week, and then we've got 2 weeks of school holidays. I'm away with the boys for a week of that. And then I get back, and at the end of the next week is Glasgow School of Yarn, and I'm vending there. I also have to get all of the advents packed and shipped and sent off by the end of October as well. So there's a lot going on. So I thought what I would do, rather than attempting to find time and space, because space is also an issue at the moment, to sit down and record a sit-down podcast, which is just not going to be very feasible, and it's going to add stress to my day. What I'm going to do instead is I'm going to do weekly Vlogtober videos. So they're each going to feature a bit of a mix of workday vlogs, so some little behind the scenes workday kind of stuff, some kind of crafty content, so sort of some of the stuff like sharing the projects I've been working on, this type of stuff you'd see on the podcast, as well as kind of some daily life, family life kind of bits and pieces as well. So a bit of an amalgamation, and I'll do probably 4 videos across October. They'll go up every Saturday or Sunday, something like that. And it'll just give me a chance to actually record videos and share some of my projects with you, but still make it slightly lower stress, because I'll only be picking my camera up for kind of 5 minutes each day, something like that, in order to kind of put it together into a weekly video. So hopefully that will work quite well. Yeah, one of the other reasons I haven't been recording podcasts is because I'm very much struggling for space at the moment. We got kittens recently, which if you're one of my Patreons, you will have seen in a recent vlog over on my Patreon channel. I've also shared it briefly in my stories on Instagram, and I've also shared the kittens in the Discord group. So if you're in any of those places, you will have seen our 2 little kittens, and I'm sure they will turn up in the vlogs as well. But yeah, we've got 2 brand new kittens. They are 14 weeks old now, I think. And they are amazing. I do not regret the decision of getting them at all. They are fantastic. We love them. They've settled in so nicely. And yeah, apart from the fact that every time I tried to sit down at the dining table today, one of them, I think it was Bowser, they're called Bowser and Burrito, Bowser kept attacking my legs because I was wearing my pyjama bottoms, which were kind of floaty at the bottom, and he just thought it was really fun to play with, and he wouldn't leave me alone. But one of the problems I'm having with that is that normally during the day, when I'm really, really busy with lots of dyeing, I will stick my airers in the living room to dry to give me extra room in the office. However, I can't do that. I don't trust kittens with dangly yarn. It would be a disaster. So I'm currently working around 2 airers full of yarn in an already packed office because it's Advent season. So there's not really anywhere that I can sit properly and record. So yeah, on that note, if at any point during these videos things flick to black and white, they will do when I share some dyeing snippets. They might do when I've just put the camera in an awkward spot and I suddenly realise you can see something, a mystery in the background. Then that is why. It's because my office is full of Advent yarn and other mystery yarn and things I can't share in colour. So if things do suddenly switch to black and white, that's why. Anyway, I was going to take 5 minutes to sit and share some projects. One of the reasons I didn't really record a podcast during September is because I was really struggling with my knitting mojo. I just wasn't reaching for my knitting or my crochet for that matter. I really wasn't reaching for it at all. And I was finding that quite difficult. Oh, that's an alarm to tell me I need to go back to my yarn. It can wait 5 minutes, it's fine. I was really finding that quite difficult. And it was very difficult to record because I can't just keep having the same thing every couple of weeks saying I've not worked on anything. So I've been working really hard, and again, my Patreons, they helped me out with a few new cast-ons, and I did a fun little video where I knit a gnome in a week, and that was brilliant because that actually really helped inspire me to pick up more projects. So what I've done is I have cast on a few new projects, and it's really helped kind of reinvigorate that knitting mojo. So the first thing I've cast on is, it doesn't look a lot like anything now, is a really fun little Halloween project. It's very nearly finished, but this is a little ghost. It is a pattern, I can't remember what the pattern's called actually. It is a pattern by Susan B. Anderson, and it's a little ghost. I've already stuffed the body, he's got little arms, and I'm just on his head. I've had to pause slightly because I didn't have the right sized safety eyes to go on him, but I think they were delivered about 5 minutes ago. I ordered the right size, and hopefully they've just been delivered, so I might be able to get him finished off this evening. But I just couldn't resist, and you know, it's been such a fun little project. I've never knit a toy other than gnomes, so it's been quite interesting to knit something a little bit different to a gnome. I purchased a couple of other patterns by Susan B. Anderson at the same time. There was a pumpkin, I think it's called Patch. It's like a pumpkin with arms and legs that are made from like the pumpkin vines, and he's got a pumpkin head. So I might do something like that at some point, but it has been such a fun little project that I've really enjoyed it, and yeah, I'll be quite excited to get this finished. And do you know, I kind of want to start another one. The one thing that's been brilliant about it is that all it uses is a 20-gram mini. So I went through my mini stash and dug out a 20-gram mini in kind of ghosty colours. This is actually an Ovis Yarns mini, which I got from a 12 Days of Christmas a number of years ago. And it made the perfect ghost colours. So yeah, a great little stash buster for those little 20-gram minis that you're not quite sure what to do with. So that's one project that I cast on. The other project that I cast on is also by Susan B. Anderson, and it is the Vixen Mitts, I think they're called. I should have checked this beforehand. I've been so crazily busy today that I didn't even think to, because I didn't write show notes because I'm not sitting down to do a proper podcast. I didn't even think to look up the pattern. The Zombie Vixen Mitts by, I'm going to double check, it is Susan B. Anderson. I'm pretty sure it is. No, Susan Claudino. Oh my goodness, I'm getting it completely wrong. Susan Claudino. And that will be the same for the ghost. Anyway, I also cast on the Zombie Vixen Mitts. They're inspired by Daryl Dixon from The Walking Dead, and if you've been around my channel for a while, you'll know that I am obsessed with The Walking Dead. It is my comfort watch. I absolutely adore it. So when I saw these recommended, I couldn't resist these ones. So these are little mitts. I haven't got very far on them yet, but they are a cabled mitt. I'm hoping you can, if the needles would stay out the way, I'm hoping you can kind of see slightly. I know I've gone for a slightly complicated yarn, so it's getting a little bit lost. The cable's getting a little bit lost on camera, but you can definitely see it quite nicely in person. And I suspect once if the camera would focus on the right place, I suspect once I've done a bit more, you'll be able to see a bit more again. But yeah, I just thought some little fingerless mitts would be perfect. A quick little Halloween project. Works perfectly for our Halloween make-along as well. So that's actually 2 Halloween projects, which is quite nice. The yarn I'm using for these, have I got... Yes, I do have the yarn band in here. Well, I think I was gifted this. I can't remember if I was gifted this or if I received it in a swap, which is terrible. I really should make a note. But it is... Big Knitters. Big Knitters is the yarn company, and it's called Zombie Moon, and I thought this was perfect. I couldn't resist using this colourway for zombie themed mittens. It's a high twist sock, so it's a merino nylon but a high twist, and yeah, they're going to be super fun. And then the other thing I cast on was, well, originally I intended to cast on some vanilla socks. I got my Patreons to help me pick a commercial sock yarn to cast on, because I'd finished my last commercial sock yarn pair and I wanted some simple vanilla sock knitting. And they picked this skein of Felici. So it's Knit Picks Felici. I don't actually have the ball here, so I can't tell you what the colourway name is, but it's something like Over the Rainbow, or it's something rainbow related. I've got the other ball, so I can dig it out and let you know next time I share it. But I have cast on some, I haven't cast on some vanilla socks actually. I did cast on some vanilla socks, and then I decided to just add a little slip stitch pattern at the colour change. So they're pretty much vanilla, but then as soon as the colour starts changing, I'm slipping every 4th stitch, and I'm doing that for 2 rows so that you get quite a big slip stitch. And I'm only doing it down the front of the sock, and I'll do it over the foot of the sock as well. But I always like how that works in self-striping. It gives a nice little effect and a bit of interest. I need to check how long I've knit so far and whether I want to keep knitting the leg a little bit longer or whether I'm nearly ready for a heel. I need to check and make a decision about that one. But that's the other little new project that I've cast on. I've got some more yarn set aside. I've got this skein all caked up. This is a Down Sheepy Lane skein. It's the Chocolate Room. Again, my Patreons helped me pick this one. And I'm going to be casting on a pair of socks with that, hopefully relatively soon, but that is a pair of patterned socks. I just haven't got around to doing it yet, but I need to get those cast on soon. And then the other thing I'm really tempted by is I purchased... recently, I purchased a Halloween cross-stitch pattern. I just saw these and I couldn't resist. I'll pop the picture up of what the pattern looks like. And I know I haven't finished my British Isles cross-stitch yet, but I'm quite tempted to dig out some threads and maybe start this at some point. Maybe I finished it, I don't know. I feel like I should only have 1 cross stitch on the go really, and actually I've got 2 on the go at the moment because I've also got my And They Lived Happily Ever After, which I've not shared in ages because I've not done any progress on it in ages because I got sidetracked by the British Isles one. So I feel like I shouldn't start another cross stitch, but it looks so fun and it's nearly Halloween and it would be so much fun to work on. But yeah. So that's everything new that I've been working on recently, but it has helped. It has reinvigorated my knitting mojo. I'm definitely reaching for my knitting a lot more and I'm enjoying it again, which is really nice. Right, I really better get back to that yarn, and I've talked for far longer than I intended to, so maybe this first Vlogtober video is going to be quite long. Anyway, I'll see you in a bit. Here's some kitten carnage for you. I've been locked away in my office all morning, packing up the Halloween countdowns, and I've just come out to find that one of the kittens has clearly somehow got hold of a pom-pom. The kids have been making lots of pom-poms recently with scrap yarn and massacred it. Oh, it has felt like a long day. It is 4 o'clock, 4:05. The kids are home, although they've both gone next door to play, which is quite nice because it took me pretty much my entire work day. I dropped the kids off for the school run this morning and I just managed to finish getting the Halloween minis bagged up and in their bags. Bagged up and bagged? There's double bagging. It makes sense in my head. And also the socks, ooh, crinkly. And also the sock sets labelled. It took me all day. I always vastly underestimate how long it takes to bag up mini skeins in sweet bags. I'm in the midst of trying to do it for the Advents as well. And oh my goodness, it took, I mean, this was 200, I worked it out. There are 13 minis and 13 minis and 19 countdowns, I guess is a thing. 247 minis that was bagging up, and that took me pretty much from 9:30 until 2:45. I've got to bag up 3,360 minis for Advent. Yeah. I've done 3 days worth so far, so I've got lots of evenings ahead of me for that. But anyway, the kids are next door, as I said, so I'm now at the point of actually starting to pack the orders so these can ship tomorrow. So I'm hoping to get as much of that done as possible now, so that I don't have to work this evening. I'm out for an hour or so this evening. Me and my next door neighbour have just started doing some exercise classes together. So we are going to a legs, bums and tums class at 6:30 tonight. I've never done a legs, bums and tums class. We've been to Zumba a few times, which I'm terrible at, but I really enjoyed. And so this will be a first tonight. But I have to say my energy levels are so low at the moment that I know it'll be good for me, and I'm sure once I get there I'll feel a lot better about it. But yeah, I could do without it tonight. I could do with just pushing through and getting all of this done. Yeah, but oh well. Exercise is good. The endorphins will be good. It's definitely worth doing. But yeah, order packing. I need to get on with some order packing. Has been a busy day again. This is a really busy week, and this week of the Vlogtober video is going to be a little bit of a bit more workday vloggy. I think, like, you'll get some snippets of work, albeit some of it in black and white, and little chats from me. And then next week we're away. We're in the Lake District next week, so next week will be crafting and scenery and activities and stuff like that. So they'll be quite different throughout October. But it's just gone 8 o'clock. Tom is doing bedtime for me. We've had parents' evening this evening. I've been working all day, and I need to spend this evening packing advents because it's just got to be done. There's so much to do, and yeah, unfortunately evenings are going to be busy. But I wanted to just pop on the video really quickly and share that I finished my little ghosty. How cute is he? The lighting is not great. His head's a bit wonky. I think I've stuffed him slightly wonky. Tom is umming and ahhing about whether he can come into the lounge. You can come in. Because I'm recording, he can tell I'm recording and he doesn't want to disturb me. He's not going to come in because he's gone upstairs now instead. But yeah, I finished my little ghosty. How cute is he? The boys love him. I'm not quite sure whether he's going to just become a little Halloween decoration somewhere or whether I might let one of the kids have him. The eyes are safety eyes. Not that my kids are young enough that safety eyes need to be a concern, but he's cute. I really enjoyed him. He used less than a 20-gram mini. I meant to actually weigh the amount I had left, but I've probably got about, I don't know, 2 to 3 grams left, 3 or 4 grams left, something like that. Maybe even 5 grams actually. I'll weigh it at some point. It'll be interesting to know. But yeah, great use of a little 20-gram mini, definitely. We have an Arthur about to come in. Do you want to come and say goodnight quickly?
Yeah.
Go on then. Do you want to?
Good night.
The camera's up there. Are you going to say goodnight?
Good night.
With the head half cut off. Do you want to take the ghost up to bed with you?
Yeah.
You do?
Yeah.
Okay, there you go. Go on then. Take the ghost away. I've shared it. Everyone knows what it's like.
Woo!
Good morning, everyone. I'm going to put this video over top of some dyeing today. because I can actually show you some dyeing in colour today for the first time. I am dyeing up some yarn for Glasgow. I'm in quite a good position with Glasgow dyeing because when I dyed the Lord of the Rings pre-orders and the Beatrix Potter pre-orders, I made sure that I dyed extras so that I wouldn't have too much extra dyeing to do for Glasgow. So I've actually got quite a lot of stock for Glasgow already. Obviously I'm working on stripes. I'm not too far away from finishing those. I don't have as many stripes as I would have liked because for a number of reasons. Timing at this time of year is just a nightmare. Obviously stripes are quite labour intensive. I can't do them while I'm doing other things. So the combination of stripes and advents is a bit tricky. So I had to reduce the numbers anyway. And then I was going to do an exclusive Glasgow stripe. But for some unknown reason, the batch went really badly and it all bled into each other. And I don't know why, because 4 of the skeins I did exactly the same the day before and they were fine. It was literally just... Hang on, I need to get more yarn. Woo, stay. It was literally just one of the batches that decided to bleed, and I don't know why. I did everything exactly the same anyway, so they didn't work out and they all got wasted. So yeah, not as many stripes as I would have liked, but I've got lots and lots of other things, which is quite good. I'll have lots of Beatrix Potter yarn, lots of Lord of the Rings yarn. I'm also going to bring quite a lot of the Hobbit yarn. I'm going to bring all the Matilda yarn. I've got lots and lots of minis, lots of sock sets, all kinds of things basically. So I'm not too worried. So mostly I've got some dyeing. I just need to kind of top up little bits here and there today. And then when I get back from the Lake District, then I will spend a day dyeing up the Glasgow exclusive colourways. Although the stripe didn't work, I'm going to do a mini bundle based on the stripe colours. And then I'm also going to do a sock set, again, based around the same colours of the theme that I've picked. So not too worried about that timing-wise, which is good. The more time I can dedicate to Advents at the moment, the better. So yeah, I'm just prepping the yarn. I'm prepping the yarn that you're probably watching being dyed at the moment. Okay, Friday, final day of, this is where I'm going to finish this week of Vlogtober, because we actually go away tomorrow. Well, me and the boys go away. If you've followed my vlogs and stuff in the past, I'm sat on the floor in not very much space because I've propped you up in the bookshelf. And there's not a lot of space between the end of the bed and the bookshelf, and I can't quite get my feet comfy. Anyway, yeah, if you followed my vlogs before, then you'll know that my husband works at the university, and annoyingly, our October holidays, we get 2 weeks here in Scotland, never coincide with a time of the university term in which my husband can actually take time off. So he can never get leave during the 2 weeks of the October school holidays. So we've developed a little habit of me taking the boys. We usually go to kind of the Lake District. This year, I think we're actually, we're near Brampton, just outside Carlisle. So we're kind of between the Lake District and I think it's the Northern Pennines. I'm struggling a bit with my British geography. I think that's right. So my parents come as well, and we get a cottage, so it's me and the boys and my parents for a week, and it's always really nice. We always explore the Lake District, go to lots of different places. So if you have suggestions of places to go and visit, particularly with kids, around that kind of area, Carlisle, Brampton, kind of the north east side of the lakes or the northwest side of the Pennines, then by all means, please let me know, because some of the tips we've had in previous years have actually led to really good days out. It's been lovely. But yes, I'm going to finish this vlog here for a Friday. But the one thing I thought I would finish on is that I am packing up my knitting to take with me. I've probably picked far too many projects. It's not just knitting either. I just said it's my knitting, but it's not. I've put a crochet, I've got a cross stitch, I've got all kinds of things. It's all in this basket. I got this basket in France when we went during the summer. And it's perfect as just like a basket to shove a load of project bags in. And it lives by the side of my sofa with kind of the projects that I tend to be working on more regularly. And I just thought, do you know what? We're going in the car, we'll have plenty of room. I'm just going to grab the basket, chuck the projects I want to bring in with me and just take that. And then in the cottage, I can still pop it down by the sofa. So in here, I've got my Felici socks. Oh, although that reminds me, I must dig out the second ball. I have just put the heel into the Felici socks. The lighting is appalling, so I'm not going to show these in a lot of detail. I'll show them later in next week, so you can see it in a bit better lighting, hopefully. But yes, I've got my Felici socks. I dug out a mini for the heel. I do need to grab the second ball though, so that I've got it if I want to start the second pair of socks. I've also got my Zombie Vixen mitts. They're coming along, actually. I'm well into the... again, you're not going to be able to see them very well. I've definitely made some progress, and I'm well into the thumb increases. So I will take those ones with me as well. I wanted to take my cross stitch because I've not done a lot of cross stitch recently. I've been wanting to, but with the kittens, I felt it's not really something that's very easy to get out at the moment. I kind of need a weekend where I can just grab a couple of hours up in the bedroom away from everybody and with the door shut so the kittens can't get in. But I thought I would take that with me. So I've got my British Isles cross stitch that I'm going to take with me. It also fits really nicely in the basket, so it's no extra hassle. And then there's a few other projects in here that I just thought I would stick in anyway, just because they fit. I've got my toasted mallow hat in here, which is coming along. It was quite a long slog of rib, but I'm well into the body now, so I'll take that with me as something a little bit different to work on. I've got my bookshelf socks as well, if I fancy something a bit different sock-wise. I have started the actual pattern on the leg of the second sock now, so I'm past the ribbing of that one. And then I've got a blanket, which I picked this up the other day when we were, on Wednesday night when we were playing Vampire. I picked this up and just did a couple of little squares while we were doing it. This is the blanket that I'm making out of this year's Fantasy Club, and I'm holding the minis double, and I'm just doing granny squares with the minis held double, so I get 2 granny squares out of each mini, and I'm going to do that with all of the minis across the year, and then I'm going to join them together with an undyed held double, not sparkle. The minis are sparkle, and I just thought that would be quite nice. So I thought I'd take that with me because you never know, I might just do a couple of squares on that. And then the last thing I've got in here, which part of me can't be bothered to take, but I do have a little bag with a whole host of little minis that I need swatches for. Mostly the Matilda colours, but there's also some of the Lord of the Rings colours in here as well. The Lord of the Rings colours are less urgent because I've got actual sock samples for those for the show. But I don't have samples. I think it's only 2 actually. I think there's only 2. That's not one of them. I think there's only 2 of the Again, you're not going to be able to see the colours very well, so I don't know why I'm bothering to show these. There's only 2 of the Matilda colours that I've not swatched yet, but I could really do with getting them done before Glasgow. So I thought I'll stick them in, and if I get time and I fancy doing it, then they're there, aren't they? If I haven't taken them with me, I can't work on them anyway, so it doesn't really matter. Better to have them and not use them than to not have them and think, oh, I wish I'd taken that and I wish I'd done it. So yeah, that's all my projects tucked in my basket, ready for tomorrow. Still need to pack all the clothes, still need to sort all kinds of stuff out, but hopefully we're not leaving till about midday tomorrow, so I've got time tomorrow. Anyway, I'm going to go and edit this vlog. I hope you've enjoyed the first week of Vlogtober. I know it's been quite a heavy work week. I hope I've tried to dot a bit of crafting and stuff in there as well. But next week will be completely different because obviously we're away next week. So I won't be working. There'll hopefully be a fair bit more crafting time, and we'll be doing lots of day trips and activities and stuff like that in a beautiful part of England. So I will take you with me and I will share that. So yeah, thank you very much for watching, and I will see you again next week. Bye.